Located on the FDOT ribbon is the FDOT Signs application. A new version has been introduced to the state kit. It is now palette-based, and I'm going to go over the options on how to use this new version. The FDOT Signs application is used to create sign assemblies, complete with posts, so you can place them in your drawing file. It does have pay item information already on it, so you can calculate your quantities. And to create a new assembly, there are new icons located on the top, each with a tooltip. Get familiar with each one. Tells you the command of each icon. In this instance, we want to create a new assembly, so let's select the plus button. From here, it has a name. You can, for instance, give it a name. Let's call this stop for stop sign. And if you hit tab, notice that the number comes up, 001. That is to give it a unique identifier. In case you had more than one stop sign in the project, it would have the next available number. The justification pull down has a left, center, right. That is used if you have a multiple panel assembly and you wanted to center the panels up on your post. From here, you select Confirm Assembly Settings, and it's now asking us for the application, panel class, and panel name. The application and panel class are already pre-filled in as a common usage. You can easily change those if you need to. In this case, let's select the panel name, pull down and select the name that you're seeking. In this case, R1-1, which is the stop sign. For size, you can enter in the panel size or use the spyglass to select from a preset size. Let's select 30 by 30. And for state, you have proposed, existing to remain, remove, or relocate. We want this to be a proposed. And from here, you can add the first panel. Use the scroll bars to scroll down. If you have additional panels you want to make on this assembly, you would select Add Next Panel and repeat the process. In this case, we only have one, so we can select Confirm Assembly. Now, the notification is letting you know to set the post options. Again, these are pre-populated for common usage. You can change these. Your installation options are ground mount, panel only, or overhead. Your mounting, you can use sign beacon, delineator, highlighted sign, object marker, single or multi-post, or others. For state, let's select Proposed. For sign type, this is a furnish and install ground mount. And for options, one-sided. And from here you see a preview comes up of your post with the pay item information that it selects from. From here, select Confirm Post. Now it's asking for the set placement settings. The rotation angle should be relative. That keeps it parallel to the alignment. And we want to place on an alignment. And from here we're ready to place. So let's select Place Panel. As you can see, as I rotate left or right side of the alignment, the sign rotates based on traffic flow. Let's put this panel here. Let's place the post. Now I can place this just by clicking, or if I want some precision to place it, select the Station Offset Transparent command and pay attention to your command line. Select Alignment. Now enter in your station without pluses. And as you can see, the offset distance goes from positive to negative. The left side is always a negative, so we want negative 75. Once the post is inserted into the file, there is an option, the Connect feature, which draws the leader line from the panel to the post. If you drag the panel around, the leader line will follow, stays connected. There is an option, if you don't want to draw the connect as you place assemblies, you can turn that off. Okay, from here you can select Finish Assembly Placement, which tells the application you are done with that assembly. Next we want to label, so let's go to the Label tab. And we want the Add Shapes toggled on, that it will add the rectangle and the oval to the labels. We have an option to group the labels, which will group the panel label to the panel itself. You have an arrow direction, left or right, and options for labeling the panel. You have a display state option when toggled on that will label the panel such as existing to remain, to be relocated. You have a spacing, the spacing between the text. The default should be 0.1 on the panel and the post. To label the panel, select Place Panel Label, left click in the drawing file the panel, then left click for placement of the label. Same applies for Place Post Label, select and then click where they go. Now if you wanted, as you can see, the label is not grouped with that panel. If you wanted that grouped, you can easily go back after you've labeled it or before, select Group Label, and then relabel the panel. Left click, it's asking you for a new location. Now it's grouped together. Now let's say that you group these labels together and you want them ungrouped. You can go to the Tools and Settings tab, select Ungroup Labels, select the label, and again it's ungrouped. Or you can do the opposite. You can group labels that aren't grouped. Okay, as we see here, we have the label set and the spacing, the 0.1 is from the gap between the top and the bottom line of the label. So if you run into an issue where the labels are spaced apart, please refer back to your spacing distance. And there's a tooltip here that tells you what the default should be. Also, you notice the label here on the station is 10 plus 00.00. If you did not want the 2 decimal places here on the label, simply go to User Settings, and under General there is a decimal place pull down that you can change it to 0, or you can request an additional decimal place if you need it. So let's change it to 0. Let's go back to Label and Place Panel Label again. There is a warning message comes up saying that you will delete the existing label that is already placed. Select OK, and just simply select the new location. So let's label that post and change the station. Again, the warning label comes up. Select a new location, and the 2 decimal places has been removed. So the application allows you to, if you want to edit or change some of the settings on your labels, you don't have to erase and replace an assembly. You can simply relabel it and it will delete the previous label. Under the user settings, there's options to toggle on. Let me go over these right quick. You can highlight the assembly when selected. You can show label removal warning. That is where that notified you that you were about to relabel an object. You can add connector on placement, which is the automatic placement of the connector. By default, this should be turned on. Remove signs with alignment. Show alignment warning. Zoom assembly when selected. You can select the zoom factor. Your folders where you can open and save your sign assemblies. It saves each assembly as an XML file. You can reset the path. You can load defaults from the XML file, the user settings. And this is your version number. So when you call in with a support question, we can easily from the office here see what version you're running. There may be a newer version that we can send you that may have a fix to a bug or a user enhancement request. Under Tools and Settings, there is the connector setting. You can set the layer. If you had your connectors automatic placement turned off, you can manually add a connector. For placement, this is the default that is used. The Issue Cleanup dialog box is used to delete stray labels or styles that are in the files that are no longer used. That could leave the residual label style and panel. And if it's not used, you can simply remove it from here. to keep your drawing nice and tidy. Let's say that you want to open an already saved assembly and place it in a file. Simply go up to Open Assembly from XML File. Use the pull down to see the list of available signs. In this case, we're going to select Stop. You see a preview of the assembly. If that's the one you're looking for, hit Load. Loads it up, and it's ready for placement now, but it's a good idea to review everything that has pre-populated here, such as size, the state. When you're ready and satisfied, go ahead and hit Place Panel, Place Post, and continue with the label procedure. When complete, hit Finish Assembly. If we go up to the top, we see there's a pull down that contains all of the assemblies that are placed in the file. You can select an assembly. The drawing will zoom to that assembly, and that is the zoom factor. From here you can edit this panel, and to edit, simply find the Edit Current Assembly. And from here we can change the panel to a different name, select a size, state is still good, come down, place panel, select the alignment that the other panel was placed on, and simply drop it in the drawing file. And what happens, it replaces the old panel with the new panel, and it's connected. Now you notice that the panel label disappeared. You will need to relabel it. It has your panel name and size. Always select Finish Assembly when finished placing before moving on to your next assembly or process. Let's create a new assembly, and we'll call this Multi. Confirm assembly settings. Let's add the first panel. Let's add a stop sign. Select the state. From here, add first panel. To add an additional panel, simply select Add Next Panel. You want to change the location of this one to go underneath the stop sign. So select the location, which opens up a grid that shows you where each panel will be. This is also where you can control mirror panels if you wanted a two-sided sign with the same panels. Let's select directly underneath the stop, and let's select the designated panel. Select the size. Now you can enter in the size here. You would enter 18 inch by 6 inch would be entered in as 18 by 6, and the area will automatically calculate. So let's select the state, proposed, and add next panel. As you can see, the preview comes up with how the assembly will look. If that's the only two panels you want to add, select Confirm Assembly, and then move on to the Post options. Proposed, one-sided, and you're ready to confirm the post and then place the panel and post, and finish assembly, and then move on to your labels. Now if you wanted to mirror this, let's go ahead and create an assembly from a copy of this current one. So we're going to copy it, and then we're going to go to the location to open the grid. Let's go ahead and mirror the panels. See the preview here. We can change this to two-sided, and then we are ready to confirm assembly and place, after we confirm the post, which is now two-sided. Select the alignment, and with the sign tool you can only select an alignment to place off of. Place post, select finish assembly, and go to labels. And to label multiple panels, simply select and left click. So I'm left clicking, left, 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 left. Now, an advantage of leaving the labels ungrouped means I can move these to line them up if I want to. And then at that point, I can group the labels to the panel. Select the post label, place it, and there we go. Now, if you wanted to save this, simply go up to Assembly Creation tab, scroll up to the top, select the Saves Assembly to XML file. It's going to save it in the location. Give it a good name that you can easily identify it, and then you can use this sign for future projects without having to recreate them. However, if you do that, make sure you review all the settings, because it saves the assembly with the last settings that you placed it as. So in this case, it would be a double-sided. Let's say that you wanted to do a panel only assembly. So let's create a new assembly again. But this time we're going to select the panel only option and confirm assembly settings. Pick the appropriate panel that you want to use. Select the size and the state. In this case, we want to call this relocate. So add first panel, and this is all we want to do. So we want to confirm assembly. It goes to the post. In this case, installation method, change that to panel only. Change that to sign panel, and relocate, relocate up to 12 square feet, which is the size of that panel. Confirm the post and place the panel. Now, we want to finish the assembly here. We want to go to the Labels tab to make sure that we toggle these on. If you look at the tooltip, panel only option displays pay item. So we want that on, and we want to display the state. Make sure you have the display pay item toggled on, and the state gives you a tooltip of what to expect. In this case, it would be to be relocated as the state label and the pay item number. And that would apply to the other states existing, to remain or remove.